My name's Peter. I'm 39, live in Cardiff with my family, my wife Bethan, and Ella, my daughter, who's 8, and Charlie's 6. I was diagnosed with a rare form of lung cancer in 2018. I'm too young to have lung cancer. Even the surgeon didn't believe that it looked like cancer at the time.
Even eyeballing the cancer, actually still thought it was infection because it just doesn't look like cancer. Looks
it's
like
quite
infection.
A rare one, isn't it? Yeah. We had a meeting planned with the doctor post chemo. When he said the chemo hadn't quite worked, but also we found out that it could be terminal, which is a shock at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really. So a big shock. Just felt like the colour had drained from the world. Everything looked grey to me.
Finding out that it was terminal was pretty horrific and almost surreal. It didn't, like, hearing the words, I think first we just didn't believe it. So I think we probably went into panic, didn't we? Life was weird for a couple of weeks. It was like it was happening and we were in it, but we weren't really in it. I remember going for a run, trying to clear my head, and just literally sitting down and crying at the top of the street because it's the literal description of overwhelming. You can't quite process it, and it just
can't do anything. Really,
it feels horrible. It feels desperately horrible, doesn't it? And this is the first time I think either of us have ever been in a situation that we couldn't fix, and that also felt.
It's difficult being told by the medical profession that you're beyond help, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
In this day and age, you expect the doctor to have the answer.
To always have something they can fix. Yeah.
Get out of any problem.
Yeah.
Daily life has changed massively. I'm not working.
You haven't worked since diagnosis, have you?
So I've been able to focus all my time on the family, really. So it's been good to spend more time with the kids.
But also, cancer does keep you busy. The amount of appointments and treatment and...
There's lots of different things going on,
Yeah, that we've had periods of time where we've gone to Surrey 3 days a week. It would be impossibly hard to fit in work with the asks that cancer brings you.
We don't spend a lot of time ironing.
Yeah, there is not a lot of time spent on ironing.
There's no time for ironing.
I think you've always been in insurance, haven't you? So uber cautious. But then having our daughter probably meant that we were a bit more open to spending money on things that we didn't feel particularly necessary.
And open to the idea of protecting the family, I suppose, really.
Yeah, there was something worth it.
I had a meeting with an insurance broker, and he made me see the light in terms of take out a life insurance policy just in case the worst should happen. I remember the conversation, and he convinced me to up the amount. It's an amount I never thought I would need. And it was a premium that was quite stretching. When we moved to Wales, I nearly cancelled that policy. We trimmed a lot of other direct debits, but not that one. And it was a very lucky decision. I had the paperwork out to cancel it, but I never really wanted to go without it. Really, I thought I'd want the money in case you died. That's all true. And here we are.
And here we are.
We had the policy for only about 4 years before we needed it in the end. It's funny, it's one of those things, isn't it? You think you'll never need it until you get old. Nothing will ever happen to me. But yeah, only for about 4 years or so. The insurance payment's been a massive thing, isn't it? Such a huge help, mainly because we've been able to try lots of different treatments
It literally has saved your life.
that wouldn't have been available. You know, some of them have been astronomically expensive, really, and completely unaffordable in the normal run of things.
But what we haven't done is put a penny of it towards the mortgage. All of the things are so much more important than in this situation. And I think we had to be in it to realise that, didn't we?
Yeah, it's the thing that most people seem to worry about, isn't it? How are you going to pay the mortgage off? But you can worry about that.
Not a penny on the mortgage, yeah.
Are we allowed to have jokes?
Have jokes.
So Pete's obviously been off, as we said earlier, since he got diagnosed, because working around all of that would be really hard. But actually it's quite hard for me as well. So I've had periods through different points where I've had a few weeks off through normal sick. But definitely felt this year that I needed to actually have a longer time off, because it's just mentally overwhelming, supporting, being part of the family, but then also having your normal day-to-day requirements of work.
It's difficult to carry on normally, isn't it?
Yeah. It's difficult to have the space that your mind needs to be in work. It just, it wasn't able to do it justice, really. And that's another thing, that having the money in the bank meant that it was an easy decision that we could make.
You had the option to choose that rather than struggling through and
exactly.
Doing a bad job
and making myself sick as well, because I think that was when I really, at the start of the year, realised that if I broke, that wouldn't be helpful for anyone. So I had to make a decision of how I can make sure I'm still okay, and that enabled to do that is a big thing, isn't it? I think our advice for people not considering insurance would be absolutely
do it.
There could not be a wiser decision that we made.
Take as much cover as you can afford.
Yeah, having felt what impact and the difference it made in our lives, and it's one of those expenses that you think you don't need, but
anything can be round the corner without wanting to sound too
absolutely
too grim.
Yeah,
it's something you don't really think about, but it's been a life-changing difference to us.